I thank the gentleman again for yielding. Mr. Speaker, I rise in opposition of this amendment. The Secretary already has the authority that the amendment is supposed to possess. That's what got us here in the first place. This amendment would undermine the purposes of the bill by giving the Secretary the option to continue the delaying and obstructing a land exchange with the state of Minnesota. This is an issue that Minnesota and the federal government have been working on for over 3 decades under existing authorities. This amendment would only continue the status quo, so I must oppose it. Stalling the process further helps no one, least of which the school children and teachers of Minnesota. Mr. Speaker, we've had public input for over 30 years, and that has culminated in the bipartisan State Senate File 1750 that was passed earlier this year by an overwhelming bipartisan vote in the state legislature and signed by Democrat Governor Mark Dayton. The public has spoken. The bill has support of the people of the 8th District of Minnesota and would execute a bipartisan plan passed by the Minnesota Legislature signed by the governor. The only groups that oppose this bill are fringe groups, many of those being from out of state. This amendment would give the environmentalists free rein to sue the federal government and have attorney fees paid for by the taxpayers of the United States. I urge my colleagues to oppose this amendment. In addition, we've heard a couple times today, where's the map? Well, here it is. Here's the map. H.R. 5544 no longer contains a direct reference to the Forest Service maps because H.R. 5544 is executing a state bill. State File 1750, which does specify lands to be exchanged in Section 4 of the bill. Subsection 3, priority. In exchange of the state land under this section shall give priority to the exchanges that provide the most opportunity for revenue generation for the permanent school fund, and priority shall be given to lands within the Superior National Forest in the Mesabi Purchase Unit in the St. Louis County in the following townships of St. Louis County: Township 59 North, Range 14 West; Township 59 North, Range 13 West; Township 60 North, Range 13 West; and Township 60 North, Range 12 West. The Minnesota DNR has maps of these lands. The Forest Service has maps of these lands. Actually, they're available online. The last year, the Forest Service prepared maps for an earlier draft of H.R. 5544, but when the state passed the Senate File 1750, we changed the references in the bill from the Forest Service maps to the state-passed plan. The reason why H.R. 5544 doesn't specify lands is because it executes the state plan, which does specify the lands. Again, the maps are available from either the Forest Service or the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now I yield to the chair.
Gentleman.
I yield.
Sir, you said that there is designated land on the other half of the exchange. I'm very well of the school trust lands. Can you show me a map? I know that the state talks about areas.
Gentleman's time has expired. Gentleman's time has expired. Gentleman from Washington has 30 seconds remaining.
I yield myself the 30 seconds.
Gentleman's recognized for 30 seconds.
Mr. Chairman, I hear the crocodile tears for no NEPA in this process. I just remind my colleagues that when this area was designated wilderness, NEPA was not involved. Now, once this land is, the land trade is made, it is subject to Minnesota Environmental Policy Act. So there is a process on which this will be carried out. So I think I don't support the amendment. I urge a no vote on the amendment, and I yield back.